Hello. Hi, I'm just waiting to see if there are anybody else that's going to be joining us. Okay, we're just waiting for more people, and then afterwards then we can start. Can everybody hear me? Hello. Yes. Okay. We have a few people online. Just gonna let's give it another 5 more minutes. How are you guys doing today? I know it's late. Let's see, what time is it? It's 6:07. Okay, so we will start give it another 2 minutes. That's good to hear. I'm glad you guys are doing good. So where are you guys right now? I know some people are still out in the street trying to get home. Great. Let's see. I'm going to try not to keep you guys online for too long. I just wanted to have a little discussion about my book, and if anybody have anything that they would like me to answer, any questions or concerns. All right, so let's just jump straight into it. All right, my name is Tanika Kajong, and I'm joining you guys today because I want to talk about my book. My book is called But God, a Book of Poetry. So my book is about hardships. It's a very sensitive book because some people are still going through certain things that I've written about. So there's a lot of triggering words and triggering events to some people because they are still either in the mix of going through it or haven't healed from certain things or haven't taken a chance to actually deal with certain situations. And for me, I've been through so much, and the book would tell you some of those things. So for my book, it has to do with rape. It has to do with mental health, like depression, suicide, PTSD, postpartum. And those are very, very hard topics. It's very heavy. And I know certain words, small words, could really affect certain people because of how heavy those situations are. Everybody's not born with mental health, okay? Sometimes very tragic situations in our lives can happen and it could cause a shift in our mental health. So in order to move forward and to be able to stand your ground and have a stable life, you have to be able to first admit that you need the help. You have to admit where you are in the moment and reach out to therapy. If you have a therapist, reach out to a therapist. You need to find one. There's always one that's close by in your neighborhood. And for me, what also worked for me was pray. Praying helped me a lot, especially when I found myself in situations where I felt like I was completely alone and I didn't have anybody to talk to. I always prayed. Praying helped me in so much ways. It's been a lot, but I could tell you, at the end of the day, no matter the path you take or how dark you might find yourself in situations, trials and tribulations does not last forever. You will find your way out. I would like to ask anybody if they might have any questions that they will want to ask me or any concerns. I'm just looking at the comments. Let me see. Save this live. How do you save the live? No. Well, I wanted to actually, if you guys don't mind, I wanted to read one of the poems, because my book is a poetry book that deals with mental health. It deals with love. It deals with so much different situation. The poem that I actually picked is called Peace. Okay, hold on, we have a question. What made you want to write the poem book? That's a good question. Okay, so what made me want to write the poetry book? During the stages that I was in, I had a hard time realizing that each situation I am is just in for that moment. I was like in such a dark place that it felt like it was never going to end. I felt like life wasn't going to get better. I felt like I was trapped. And then my therapist she asked me a good question. She was like, what makes you want to keep moving forward? And she said, once you can figure that out, then that will be your reason for living. And I found out that my kids is my motivation. I do not ever want to leave this world knowing that my kids is not going to be okay. They're not going to be taken care of. So when I realized how important my kids are for me and they are my reason for survival, I had to change the way I think. And it took me really to finally gather myself together. It took me a good 1.5 years in therapy to finally realize I need to get myself together. And what I did is, while I was in each emotions, I either jot down how I was feeling or I wrote a poem for each emotion. And then when I finally realized that it was time, that I finally found growth, and there was other people going through actual similar situations as me, I had asked myself one time, why am I alive? What is my purpose for being alive? And when I found that other people was going through the same situation as me, I was like, this is my purpose. My purpose is to let others know that there is an end game to pain. It may not be forever, but you do have that portion, that part in life where you can wusa. Once you start thinking that everything is going to happen forever, and you start keeping yourself in that emotion that how that you would never find light out of tragedy, that's when things become overwhelming. But when you take it as one step, one day, and just one moment, then you realize that it's not forever. It's just that one moment. You just had one bad day. Not a whole week, just one bad day. And when you wake up and you start thinking that today's going to be different, today's going to be a better day, I'm going to leave all the bad behind, that's when you start developing a cycle that, okay, yesterday happened, but today's going to be better. And when I started thinking like that and I started realizing that everything isn't forever, I gathered my poems. I even wrote more poems. And then I wanted others to be able to relate. And when you know that saying, that how that we don't live life for ourselves, but we live life in hopes to save somebody else. This is my way in saving somebody else. Do I have another question? Let me give you guys a moment. If does anybody have another question, I am so happy to answer any questions. Because one thing I really want everybody to know is that I'm not here to tell everybody to join a religion. You have to pray. You do have to do this. You have to have faith. You have to do this. I'm here to tell you that this is just a way that helped me. Everybody's not going to find peace the same way. Everybody may have similar stories, but is not the same as somebody else. Everybody deals with things differently. Everybody sees things differently. Everybody thinks differently. Everything is not the same. So I'm not here to tell you guys that you have to do things a certain way. I'm just here to tell you what worked for me. Okay, the next question is, when did you start writing? Or how long were you writing for? That's a really good question. I actually started writing, I started actually writing songs and stuff when I was 10. While I was in school, especially high school, writing short stories and stuff, poems, essays, that was really fun for me because of the fact that when I was in the third grade, I had a really hard time with writing because I actually came from a different country. So spelling was different than here in America. So I had a hard time with ELA a lot. But I had a teacher. She, during her lunchtime and my lunchtime, she would actually take me into her class and she would give me that extra help that I needed because I didn't have that. Like, my mom was from a different country, so she couldn't help me and I couldn't help myself. So she actually took the chance to sit me down and help me. And then also in middle school, I had another teacher who did the same. And with them helping me, my writing skills became much better because they always said, I have a lot up here that I'm trying to get out all at once. And it gets mumbled and jumbled, and they have to show me how to be able to write without throwing everything all at once at everybody. Does anybody have another question? I'm just asking if anybody had another question that they wanted me to answer, or anything toward that aiming towards the book. Well, if not, then I guess we could take this time to read one of the poems. This poem that I've chosen to read to you is called Peace. Okay, so it goes like this. What is really peace in the eyes of the hurt? What is really peace in the eyes of the deceived? What is really peace in the eyes of those that's been traumatized? What is peace in the eyes of those who think they've been defeated? What is peace in the eyes of the lost souls? What is peace in the eyes of the weak and depressed? Peace is not freedom to these beings. Peace is not harmony to these beings. Peace is not a lifetime of mutuality to these beings. Peace isn't about happiness to these beings. How could peace give us freedom when in peace there are images of where we once stood? How can we have freedom when the damage done to us still lives deep within? How can there be harmony when nightmares of what occurred shake us out of our peaceful dreams? How can there be harmony when pain still bangs at our doors? How can there be harmony when our minds replay the horror and experience done to us? Where is mutuality when our suppressors are still walking freely? Where is mutuality when we were being taken advantage of and put to silence? How can we be put in submission when it feels like we will always have to fight? How can we be put in submission when the smallest things brings back major memories? Where is happiness when anger, pain, loss, and delusion follow us right after? Where is happiness when we aren't comfortable in our own skins and no one seems to notice? Peace is defined by what we make of it. Peace isn't one definition. It holds its own weight depending on who's looking for it. Peace is a temporary gift for a certain time frame for those who can't take any more pain. Peace is a treasure that needs to be found and cherished. Peace is the gold of life that is the hardest to find and most expensive. Expensive in the way it costs, not by money, no, because you can never find peace that way. Expensive in the way of how much it took to find it the right way. You've fallen so far, further than you ever thought you can go. Everything looks so dark and distant. You've soon to give up on everything. You can't find not one reason to live. Your emotions are shut off and you're living in a black hole. Then a light comes in the midst of the darkness. A voice comes and pulls you up. You don't know why you're still alive, but something has given you purpose again. You're praying again, smiling again. There's laughter again. You still feel pain, but it doesn't devour you. Instead, it teaches you in many ways. Peace is the victory given to you when you could have lost. So you cherish this moment and learn from it because you know another challenge is soon to come again. Peace is a game changer when the enemy thought they were going to win. So no, peace isn't about happiness. It's about what you've defeated. It's so expensive because we thought we almost lost. We thought there was no way we can be happy and be in good hands again. Then something changed it all for you. For those really fighting, peace is not temporary. It's something we came too far to get and won't let anyone take away. Peace is our victory until another challenge exposes itself. But only you yourself can allow someone to disturb your peace. That's it. Thank you so much for listening. If you like, can you guys express to me how did you guys feel about that poem? Hi, Victor. DJ Future. Well, for me writing this poem, the one thing I really struggled with what environment do I feel comfortable writing in? It depends on what mood I'm in. I could write at the beach where there's a cool breeze and the waves is flowing in a rhythm. I could write in the park. I could write traveling on the train or the bus. I could write right here at home in peace. For me, depending on what I'm writing about, it has to do with the energy. I have to find the right energy in order for me to be able to be focused and to write out what I have to say. Is that all the questions? Okay, well, that will be the end of this live. I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, wait, hold on. How do you feel after reading your poems again? That's a good question. Before I read my poems, I feel very anxious and nervous. Because it shows me exactly where I was before and how far I've came, and it brings back a lot of emotions, but it's not like sad emotions. It's more like, wow, I've actually came a long way. And for somebody to look back from how far they was to where they are now, I'm appreciative of the journey that I've went through. Even though all the journeys wasn't good, I feel like it made me stronger. It opened my mind, and I could just say thank you. Yes, I feel relieved, and that's what a journey is supposed to do. Does anybody else have any questions? Well, I thank you guys for joining my live. I appreciate the questions and you guys taking time out to listen and be one with me. I hope you guys really like it. You guys could buy my book on Amazon, But God, a Book of Poetry by Tanika Cudjoe. My name is spelled Tinika, last name Cudjoe. Yes, you can find my book on Amazon. One more question. Okay. Yes. What's the question? Do you have any other projects coming up? Any more books? Actually, yes, I do have a few more books that I'm working on. I have some children books that I want to put out. I have 2 more nonfiction books. Actually, 2 or 3 more. I actually want to, after I get those done, I actually want to do a fiction book so I can show my creative, imaginative side. But I'm not going to get into too much details, but those are the other books that I am working on. Does that answer your question? What about any projects? Well, if you guys haven't noticed, I have an exercise class I do Mondays and Saturdays. Monday I just do stretching and light exercising, and Saturday I do stretching and it's a twerk class, so we can work that stomach, work those thighs, work those butt. It's a good time to get your body fit because of the fact that we're stuck inside. So good exercise is important. Is there any more questions? Magnificent news to hear. Thank you. Also, what I'm doing is I'm doing modeling, part of the model and talent management. So you will see me in other platforms also. You could join my exercise class. Well, that is still, we're still working on that. But I have, if you want to keep up, we have a page called Stretching with Tanika Cudjoe, and that's on Facebook. You can follow us, and also on Instagram, there's another page called Stretch with Tanika, is underscore stretch underscore Tanika, I believe. You can find us there on Instagram, and those two sites will give you more information on what's upcoming. Is there any more questions? Loving the blue here. Thank you. Yes, it's stretch underscore with underscore Tanika. That's the Instagram site that you can follow us on. So yeah, if you would like to buy the book again, you can find that on Amazon. You could just type "But God," a book of poetry by Tanika Cudjoe, or you could just go to Amazon, scroll down, and go to books and just write Tanika Cudjoe. That's probably easier. Also, you're so welcome. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. I really appreciate you guys sharing your guys' time with me. I know you guys have other things that you guys could have been doing, but you're here with me, and so I really appreciate that so much. Well, at this time, I'm going to say good night. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your guys' nights. I loved having you guys. I hope to see you guys in the near future, and maybe we could discuss more about the book or any other project that you guys are interested in. Have a wonderful night. May peace be with you. And like in my church, we say, Shalom.